Welcome, everyone, to the weekly media availability with UTSA men's basketball coach Austin Claunch. The final week of the regular season is upon us, and the Roadrunners came storming into March with a 28-point win over Rice last night at the Convocation Center. It's a short turnaround for the Roadrunners as 18th-ranked Memphis comes to San Antonio for the first time on Tuesday night, while UTSA wraps up on Sunday at Charlotte before heading to Fort Worth for the AAC Championships. Coach Claunch, can you get us started talking about yesterday's win and the week ahead for the Roadrunners?
Yeah, of course, a great win, and sort of, obviously we'd been through a brutal stretch where we had played well and not been able to, finish games. So, for us to build a lead and then, they're in the last 8 to 10, not just maintain it, but extend it, certainly felt good for our guys, and we felt like we've had really good practices, and so ultimately to come out and, I think that bye week last week, midweek, kind of gave us the sort of a mental reset as well, and I thought you saw that, last night, and so yeah, certainly a great win. Proud of our guys, and now we've got another tough week ahead with a really good Memphis team, and then we got to go on the road and play a good Charlotte team. So. Yeah, but we want to, we're happy about last night, but now it's over and we want to build on it.
Jerry, go ahead and jump in with any questions for Coach.
Hey, Coach, good morning. Just wanted to ask you about the Memphis Tigers and what you see of them on film. What would you say are your chief concerns about the Memphis personnel?
Well, Jerry, they're just a really, really good team. They've got great guard play. They're versatile in that regard, right? That they can make threes, they can get to the basket, and then of course they've got great size down low, and they've got great depth. I mean, listen, you're not a top 20 team in the country without those things, and so it's not one thing you can point at. We've got to be locked in. I thought last night was probably our best defensive game, certainly of conference play. And we've got to have that kind of attention to detail and just most importantly, competitive spirit. We've got to have that for 40 minutes like we did last night because it's going to start on that side of the ball. And then they're an elite defensive team. So just because you get stops doesn't mean you're going to score on the other end necessarily. So we've got to have a good plan. We've got to understand how we want to attack them to get the shots that we want to get.
Do you think Memphis has played some games where, some games that you see them in the 50s and in the 60s. Other games where they get up in the 80s and 90s. Given the pace that you like to play, do you suspect that it'll be something like that, something in the 80s or 90s tomorrow, or?
I do think a lot is said about our pace. I think even last night, if you looked, it was only a 67 possession game. But we scored 84 points just because of the type of shots we were taking. And we had some even longer possessions that ended up with open shots because we were patient. And I think when you play a really good team like Memphis, especially on that side of the ball, listen, they're going to press some. When we get great looks, we got to take them. And we've got to attack them. We can't allow them to have us on our heels. When you get a great look, and I don't care if it's 4 seconds into the shot clock, or 28 seconds into the shot clock. When you get a good look against them, let it go, be confident, and make it.
What did you make of the responses from your players last night when we asked Primo and Marcus about playing Memphis? It sounded like they're pretty confident going into this game. What did you make of their commentary last night?
Well, I mean, certainly that's a little bit of, that's how I want our guys to always be, whether we're playing Memphis or the Spurs. I want our guys to obviously feel like they're the best team. And at the end of the day, in this conference, every game is a dogfight, and I don't think it has anything to do with Memphis. Obviously, we know, the threats that they pose and, their success, not just this year, but as a program, and but we're trying to build something here special at UTSA. And we're certainly excited, about, this game because it's a challenge, right? It means something, and so, we have a ton of respect for Memphis. And obviously it's obvious, again, the things that they do really, really well, and they'll be a tough out, in the NCAA tournament. But we're excited to, because we haven't seen them this year either, so it's the first time we're seeing them. And so, we're excited to get out here and compete.
How much of them have you already had a chance to run through some tape of their game yesterday? Have you already looked at that?
I got lucky because it was 2 hours before our game, so I got to watch a decent amount of that before, and then I watched it last night after watching our game, and then just through scouting other teams throughout the course of the year, I've gotten to see, a good amount of them. And again, they're a lot of times when you want to figure out how to guard an opponent, you might go watch the team that guarded them the best. And quite frankly, that's been Memphis a lot of times. They're statistically, by points per possession, the best defense in our league. And so, they're big, they're strong, they're athletic, they've got good length. So yeah, we're very familiar with who they are, as a program, their identity, and the things they're going to try to do.
What do you think of the way you're just the way I thought it was a really cool moment, before the game when those three seniors were out there with their plaques and their jerseys behind the placards that they're held up. That was a great moment. What were you feeling right then when you posed for the picture with your three departing seniors?
Yeah, senior day is always a special moment, especially in that being our first year here, Jerry. Those are three guys that could have gone to a lot of places, and they took a leap of faith and came here to begin the process of building something at UTSA. And I said it last night in the post game, and I'll say it again right now. First of all, we have big ambitions, like you said, to go to Fort Worth and win the tournament and make noise. We're obviously not going to win the regular season this year, but when we do, in a couple of years, it's not just going to be because of that team. It's going to be because of the foundation that those three guys have helped laid and started putting the bricks down, and so, when you look at how awesome was that game the other day with Coach Aston and the women did, to see that in the convo was so incredible. And I think she would probably tell you too, hey, it's not, they have a special group this year, but this started a couple of years ago with some ladies that, maybe don't necessarily get talked about as much, but without them, maybe what's happening this year doesn't happen. And that's how I feel about those three seniors here, taking a chance in their last year of college basketball to play for a first-year head coach at a new place where we're trying to build something, I think says a lot about who they are as people and their character, and wanting to be a part of something bigger than themselves.
Okay, I had a chance to speak with Primo last fall. Then I chatted with his father on the phone a little bit this morning, and we talked a lot about the terrible injury that he suffered when he was in high school. It was just a very scary thing. A bad elbow injury, a dislocation, and a really tough situation. When he was, it was after his freshman year of high school, and at that point, I think some of the doctors when he went in for surgery, were telling him that they didn't know if they could put it all back together again. Kind of his career was in question. I just was curious. Have you and Primo ever talked about that and what he went through?
Yes, but not in extreme depth. Primo and I have obviously a great relationship, and we've talked a lot, about things outside of basketball. I think, again, as a coach and as a point guard, I wasn't at this level. I wasn't near as good as Primo, but I certainly understand the importance of, a coach and point guard relationship. And, he's so much more than that, to me, just It stinks I only get to coach him for a year, but that's obviously someone that we were talking last night. I'll we'll have this connection and we'll have this relationship for the rest of our lives. I'm extremely proud of how he's played this year, but I'm more proud of how he's led and how he's grown as a leader of men. And I'm excited to continue to watch his future unfold. And I'm just lucky to be a little page in his book. Certainly just happy to be, a part of his journey.
Right. We've all enjoyed watching him. It was fun last night just to, those big guys would switch out on him and all he had to do, he just stepped back and shot it higher and farther. And most of them went in. So that's always pretty special to see someone that has that kind of ability, right?
No doubt. And it's, you guys see the end product. We see the work every single day. We see him in the gym 3 times a day. Some of those shots that maybe don't look as open for some people, these are things that he's working on every single day. And I see him make them at a consistent level, and it's pretty awesome, as a coach when you see guys like that. When you see guys like that, just, the work pay off. Because this is a guy that's given everything, body, soul, mind to this program this year. And it hasn't gone exactly to plan. But I think because of that, he's grown and he's learned a lot. And that's going to help him just as much, as he moves forward in life. Adversity is going to come in a lot of different ways. And I think being here at UTSA for this year and what he's done and how he's evolved and grown, it's going to help him far beyond the basketball court.
You've seen that toughness in him just about on a daily basis. I mean, even last night he does something with. I think he hurt himself a little bit at the end of the first half. He was out for a minute or so, took off his shoe, and then Gianna worked her magic in the back there, and all of a sudden he comes out. He's good to go again. So I mean, you see that toughness from him on a daily basis like that, right? There's not much that really can stop him.
Yeah, no doubt. If he I asked him. I said, "Are you good to go?" And if he hobbled out there with one ankle, I was going to play him. You believe in him. You believe in again, not just the player he is, but the person he is. And he's earned it. He's earned everything he's gotten this year. And we got a few more games to win. We need him to continue to lead and continue to play. He was incredibly efficient last night, shared the ball, got guys involved. And we need that from everybody with some big games this week.
Yeah. Well, thanks for helping me with that. I was going to try to write a little something on him before tip-off for tomorrow's game. So appreciate that. And that's kind of all I had this morning, Coach. You got any big plans today? When did y'all work out this afternoon?
Yeah, we'll lift and get some film in at 3 and do some walkthrough, get some shots. Obviously, quick turnaround. Not going to do anything heavy today. Big mental day. Attention to detail with what Memphis does, and get ready to go.
Right. Okay. Well, I am good. I guess I will just see you folks tomorrow evening.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming out. And we have 2 great games ahead of us this week. Good luck, Coach, against Memphis and Charlotte. And we will talk to you again soon.
Thanks, guys. Birds up.
Thanks, Coach.